And in Ghana here, one of the worst stadium disasters happened because of a referee's decision.
Sulia.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sulia. This is a special episode brought to you by ECG, like the boy said earlier. I'm here with
Larry G.
and
Selwyn.
As you can see, we are managing, two mics, but we're managing. We just have to bring the content out for you guys. Today, we are talking about referees. Why are they so foolish? Why are they so useless? Let's get into it. We don't have time. Larry, you guys, Chelsea played Man City in the FA Cup this weekend. And I know Chelsea fans were very upset to the referee because you felt you should have had a penalty. What do you think?
Clear pen.
Yeah.
I think at that juncture of the game, it was very crucial because then we could have had the first goal, which would have changed the landscape of the game or how the game would go. That was a clear penalty. Cole Palmer, my guy, hit it. I mean, it was clear. The hand was gone past the body. It was like this. And Who was it? Was it even Kevin De Bruyne? Grealish, yes. So that was supposed to be a penalty. And who knows if we got a penalty. Cole Palmer is like 100% from the spot. And then we would have had that lead and goal. And maybe we could have won. And then we meet Manchester United. And obviously, that's a win for us.
Hey, serious. Yeah, you guys go a penalty. Man, you go a penalty against you in your FA Cup semi-final. Tell me about it.
Yep. So people will say that if Grealish wasn't a penalty, then why is Wan-Bissaka on a penalty? It was very obvious. Like even the same thing. Wan-Bissaka, the ball was coming through. Wan-Bissaka saw that the ball was coming, got his body right in line. It was even trying to move his hand closer to his body. It hit him when his hand was in a natural position. He couldn't do anything about it. Ref says the pen. So what the question is the inconsistency of these referees. Like the same fouls happen and it's a different decision and it's a different decision in other games. And PGMOL, what are they doing about it? So if you go to the Premier League, there are also other references where other clubs are also complaining, like Nottingham Forest or Zuu. Can we have that?
So after Nottingham Forest's game with Everton, they were upset and they released a statement on Twitter. When I saw it, I thought it was a joke. I thought the admin made a mistake. He wanted to tweet his personal account and he did it to the official account. But this is a real statement from Nottingham Forest. They said 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which we simply cannot accept. We warned the PGMOL that the VAR is a Luton fan before the game, but they didn't change him. Our patience has been tested multiple times. Nottingham Forest will now consider his options. And then today, they came to expand and they said, today Nottingham Forest has submitted a formal request to the PGMOL to release into the public domain the audio recordings between officials during yesterday's match against Everton at Goodison Park. The club has requested that this be shared for 3 key match incidents: Ashley Young's challenge on Giorena, Ashley Young's handball, and Ashley Young's challenge on Hudson-Odoi. We firmly advocate for the broader football community and supporters to have access to the audio and transcripts for full transparency, blah, blah, blah. So they are upset and they want them to release the pink sheets into the public domain so that we'll see what's really going on. And really, I understand. I understand where they're coming from.
I think that started from Liverpool's game with Spurs when they had that decision. And then there's this saying that they go by saying that access all options. So now teams are demanding that the referees give us a transcript of what the conversation goes on between the referee on the pitch and then the VAR at Stockley Park. So we get to know what they actually spoke about, the ways that they've come to that decision that they make. So it's going to be very serious because now every team is going to demand that. Nottingham is going to demand that. Now all other teams will also ask questions that what's happening. So I think there's also a program that is coming up that they are trying to test to see that, like other sports, I think it's there's certain sports that the referee speak and then we can hear all over. So they're trying to test that in England or the Premier League, if that will work. But also we are having former players who are coming against teams for asking for access all options, whereby we are going to scrutinize the referees. But I'm very shocked that Gary Neville is against that because him as a player and as a former player, he should definitely understand why teams will want it because I'm sure he's suffered wrong decisions from referees. So Gary Neville has been a bit shady when it comes to this, but we hope that something good is going to come of it. But for United, that penalty against Coventry, we all know that shouldn't have happened, but yeah, it goes there. Then they should learn from African referees in the AFCON. They should see what the AFCON referees were doing. And it was fantastic job with VR. I don't know why English referees, I don't know because they don't pay them well.
Honestly, you think that with the advent of things like this would not be bad. It's getting worse, actually. Yeah. But what do you think, Zuu, about this whole having to bring more proof and everyone having like intel and extra information? Because it's like it's going to create too much banter. Waste of time, and everyone will have an opinion, and like it's like you're taking a little bit of power away from the FA and the referees. It's like too much power for the fans, you know.
I understand why they are against it, because if you think about it, if everybody is like pitching in and having something to say, it can become very chaotic. So I understand why they want to kind of keep it the same way. Me personally, I think the solution is just remove this VAR thing. If Yawa happens, it happens, and maybe introduce like we have someone joining us. Please join us. But yeah, maybe introduce like post-match interviews for referees.
Just on this point, I don't think VAR itself is the problem. The asset technology, yes. VAR, yeah. But it's these human beings that we've put in Stockley Park,
yes,
which is very funny. I used to take that bus route to work all the time in Hayes. Those, you see, first of all, how can you should see Stockley Park. It's like let's call it like a university campus, like with just a lot of businesses in there. And I heard IGM have their how can the guys making this key decision be sitting in a business park whilst the match is going on? How?
It's true.
Can you,
you need to be there.
The emotion of what's going, they'll be so far removed from what's happening. Like you should see the place. It's like companies. It's just like somewhere ways. A very cool, serene. Like nothing is going on. Imagine the high stakes game.
I feel like some days will say that they took that decision because they want them to be
like
independent from the game. So maybe that's why they took that away. At this point, it doesn't look like it's helping. Because, so
I don't know. Next season, they are telling us they are bringing a semi-automated offside. Those are the kind of technologies we need. As little human, whatever in the. Look at how this Man U game. Look at the offside. What are you telling me? The guy could have easily said his own side. Yes. Nobody will say anything. Yes. So what is it a human decision now? What's the purpose of all this technology that we're paying for? And, and even talking about the El Clasico as well. 2024, you don't have goal line technology. Since Frank Lampard scored that goal, that was disallowed. This should not be happening anymore. Like, what's going on with these referees? And the most painful part for me, as somebody who plays football, you can't say anything. Like, that's the once the ref calls, no matter how hard done you feel by the thing, that's all. How? Like, look at Liverpool, what happened? Look at Newcastle versus Arsenal. You can cry, you can whatever you want. There was one instance I heard that they actually replayed the game in America or something, but that's America, so I'm not surprised. But
in Europe, you can never.
Why? We need some real checks and balances. Thank you.
So, in building on the El Clasico thing, that penalty that they gave, like I feel like Barcelona really cheated in this game. That penalty that they gave to Barca when Vasquez dragged his leg and fell over. It was Kobasi's leg.
The same thing happened.
That's what Saka did. Even Saka's one was even better because
I think Saka's one was worse, but it's the same kind of thing. Yes.
So you see, there's no consistency in refereeing, right? If that's a penalty in El Clasico, why is it not a penalty in the Champions League? But that's besides the point. I think both of them shouldn't be penalties. That's my view. Then the goal line technology that you mentioned, and then I think Barca were denied another penalty in the second half where Fermin just dropped his shoulder and Rudiger just body checked this guy in the box and he fell down. The referee said, play on. I was like, what? So the referees we always say in English referees are trash. But funny enough, every country you go to, they are also complaining about their referees.
Even here. Ask if you guys, honestly, this one ad, but come and watch us sometime. You will be so upset. It looks like the referee problem is just
Ghanaian referees are different
Oh
because
my
even in the Ghana Premier League last
Oh my
weekend,
gosh.
Kotoko and Samatex, if you watch the penalty they give to Kotoko in that game, I swear, like,
Really?
bro, like, even if you don't watch football and you see that penalty, you be like, how? And Kotoko got that penalty
And
last
it's
weekend.
becoming too frequent.
But Joe Laud,
That's
there
the
are
problem.
some people who would say that football is a sport, a human institution, know, and to completely have everything very accurate is not true. For like centuries, it's been like this. And
sports in general.
yeah, so can we truly have it that way?
But that's why we brought technology to solve
help.
this problem.
That-
And
I've always
But humans will still man these technologies.
hold on.
So should we just
Sorry,
give
like-
some grace then say, okay, some of these things will happen? Because then would you announce some like trophies in the past? Because some trophies have been won based on wrong decisions, So sometimes
And
but you
people
wanna-
went home very mad and upset. You can't tell me that's just part of sport. We won't take it.
Getting for-
And in Ghana here, one of the worst stadium disasters happened because of a referee's decision. One of the worst stadium disasters that happened in this country, or even maybe in the world, was because of a referee decision. That's May 9 disaster. A
And
referee,
more people have died.
yes, a referee took an offside goal. Like a player scored a goal, was offside. I mean, according to the Kotoko fans, offside. House of Folk fans says no offside, but it was an offside. And the fans started they broke the seats, throwing them on the pitch. Ghana police went to throw tear gas on them. There was a stampede because of a referee's decision.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful about these things all the
And
time.
you have to know the stakes. Like, even
You run away.
wow, look at that. Look at Chelsea versus Barca.
Right.
Wow, see. Chelsea versus Barcelona. How many years ago was this? Like blatant robbery. Like in front of our eyes, you can see, and you can't say that. That's all. You can't say anything.
Yeah.
The more you shout, the more you'll find you. They'll
Yes.
rather punish you for voicing out.
Yeah.
Like,
So
what's
last
happening?
question, like before we go, you guys, do you think some of these mistakes from referees is be pure negligence or they are being biased?
It's a mixture of everything.
Incompetence. Yeah, I think-
Incompetent. It's the human factor. That's what it is. Like emotions, incompetence,
Yes.
negligence,
Some people they
bias.
also don't work well under pressure. Like
Yes,
a lot of things,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
They can't
Yeah.
like this. The human. So I'm not saying we should take humans out, but at least minimize it to the point where their mistakes won't affect the decision being made on the pitch. That's all I'm trying to say.
Real. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode and
Sponsored by
sponsored by ECG.
When the Darkness.
By
Now.
Doom So.
Please remember to follow, subscribe, share.
Put the light on so
listen.
that they see what we're.
Yeah, we are really in the dark, bro. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us once again and safe love. Sulia.
Sulia